My memories of the Chamber of Commerce and the banquet and the awards that go with the annual banquet kind of come twofold, because I worked for the Chamber of Commerce for 3 years before I started here as the Hayes Arts Council as the executive director.
So I remember sitting there as they were talking about, what our award was coming up, and started talking about the actual describing us and our business and this and that. And all of a sudden a light kind of came on, and it was kind of like, wait a minute, I think this is us they're talking about.
One of the things that I just loved was when we used to give the Chamber Awards, and of course it's still a surprise to the recipients, but we used to flash up old photos of the recipients, baby photos from when they might have been in college or on family trips. And so nobody knew who was getting the award, but as the photos kept going on the screen, the recipients and maybe their family members in the audience started to giggle. And we at tables were like, oh, that must be Bob, or that's Jim. We would take our guess. And I loved that they did that.
Being recognized by your peers is the greatest compliment you can receive.
So I've been going to the banquets for about 10 years, and my all-time favorite part of the banquet is always the awards.
Having watched those award winners over a lot of years, it's remarkable how when the name's called, you say, oh, what a perfect pick. Yes, that was a great choice for that award. In the very beginning, the idea of a party to celebrate the Chamber accomplishments, there were people that kind of raised an eyebrow at that. But oh my goodness, I don't think anyone really thought about what a fun social and business event it is.
Our group of people at our table, we always like to try and guess who the winner is. So I love the way the Chamber does that, like how they start with a story about the person, and we're all sitting there trying to figure out, oh, I wonder if it's this person, or no, I'll bet it's this person. And the more the story comes out, sometimes we figure it out and we guess correctly, and other times we have no idea. So last year, as being named Businesswoman of the Year, again, a group of us were just sitting there going, oh, I wonder who that could be. And before I knew it, Callie Klasny and Sandy Meyer were kind of giggling and pointing at me. And I look at the table on the other side of me, and Renee Moritz is staring right at me with a great big smile on her face. And about the time I connect with her, I hear them say, this woman has been with her organization for 35 years, and something about a store. And all of a sudden it clicked, and I went, oh my gosh, I think that's me. I think they're talking about me. And Callie and them were going, I think it's you. And it was just so surreal. And that when they said your name, it was just like, I can't even describe it. It's a surreal moment.
One of my favorite memories of the Chamber Banquet is a recent one. I had nominated LaVon Geese for Businesswoman of the Year, and clearly other people did as well. But the Chamber staff did such a good job of keeping it a secret that I did not know that she had won. And I was up to present the award on behalf of Next Tech Wireless, and when they announced her, as they were reading the description, I'm like, I think this might be LaVon. And then when she won, I don't know if anybody filmed this, but I think I was as excited as she was to win it. So it was very celebratory. So that was a great time, and I'm so excited to be a part of giving an award to deserving businesswomen in the community.
I always liked when Jerry Haley was doing it. When he would announce it, he never said the sex of the person. So our fun is to sit there and try to guess who it is, just from, because they'll say this person did this person did this. And so we're trying to figure out first male, female, who is this? And a lot of times I would guess it, because around our table we'd always try to guess.
My memories of the annual awards banquet revolves around the individual awards in recognition. The anticipation of trying to solve the puzzle of clues that are put forth and see what individual or business is being recognized has always stood out as one of the most memorable pieces of the banquet. being recognized by your peers, individually or as a business, is the ultimate compliment that you can receive. And as you listen to the clues and realize that some of them sound kind of familiar, and the ultimate recognition that, wait a second, that could be me, is a very unique experience. And winning an award, I'll always have that to look back on and understand the surprise and the joy of it being an award winner. And I almost get to experience that again each year.
And what I remember from those years was how much excitement would be behind the scenes, how much would brew as the committee that was in charge of assembling names for the different categories of awards, how much energy there was to that, and who was it going to be, and then ultimately coming up with the person that was selected, and just how much excitement went with that. But then also the follow-up. How are we going to get them there? We need to talk to their family, and what will be the ruse that we'll get that will make this all work? How do we get the story to go along with their presentation and the photos, and just all of those moving parts that the Chamber does so well in making it a very special evening for those recipients. But then I also had the great fortune to be someone on the other side of things and actually receive an award at the Chamber Banquet some years ago. And then a ruse was needed as well. My oldest son, running a business here in town, claimed that he had to buy a certain number of tickets for the awards banquet. Somebody came and hit him up, but one of his staff couldn't go. And so, hey, Mom, here's a ticket for you. You'll just be sitting, I don't know where, and all that kind of thing. Well, he and my sister had worked to assemble some photos, but indeed I was there at the Chamber Banquet, totally honored and humbled and amazed by the award. But again, I was on the other side of the ruse for that experience. But I realize what a special thing it is, seeing it both from the behind the scenes and the people who want to make it special, want to make the right choices in those awards, but then also from the other side as being one of the fortunate beneficiaries of something that is really special and is very important once you receive it.
And this happens every year when I'm at the banquet. When they announce a recipient, the MC will announce the recipient. And I'm always so shocked. I'm like, didn't they already get an award before? I mean, how can this person in the community has done so much? They haven't got that award yet?
It's my pleasure to attend about 82% of the awards banquets that the Chamber's had since 1986 when they started the awards. The most memorable ones that I can remember are the one that we had in 92 and 94 rather, because some of my friends, Rick Keel, who was then head of all of the McDonald's in the area, Dave Carpenter, who was the CEO of the hospital, and we had gotten awards already, Citizen of the Year award, and I got mine in 94. And because these friends had gotten the award and I'd watched them get the award and know what they did to contribute to the success of Hays in our community, it made it a very special honor for me to get the Citizen of the Year award in 1994. In 2009, 15 years later, I was surprised and tremendously honored to get into the Hall of Fame that the Chamber had. And what made it so special was in the whole history of the awards program, there were only 2 individuals that had received Citizen of the Year and also received the honor of being admitted to the Hall of Fame. And those were Bob Schmidt and Verlin Flowensteel. And to be in the category with those 2 pillars of our community who have done so much for Hays and for Ellis County, it just made the honor even more special to be one of now 3 people that have received that award.
I have a lot of wonderful memories about the banquet. I would have had 8 banquets that I got to lead and be the MC. And that first one, boy, I was very, very nervous. I remember needing maybe a little bit more drinks that night at the social hour. And so there was some really, though, wonderful moments. I recall one year where we joked that we had 2 banquets because we were all ready. We had everything set up, and the snowstorm, the blizzard, kept us from having our banquet, but we didn't make the call until 3 p.m. And I remember just pretty much standing there in the union and almost being like this water sprinkler. And I would just kind of put out assignments for everybody. You call this person, you go do that. So that was a little bit of chaos, but it worked out just great. And of course, we had 2 banquets that year. So I remember a lot of other times where the entertainment, our guest speaker, I remember a time or two where I'm at the head table and our guest speaker got a little too windy and I'm up there not sure, what do I do? We're a half hour in and I still have most of the program yet to do. So those are always the kind of things that were going through my head while you try to sit up at the head table and smile like, yeah, this is what I meant to happen.
In 1993, the city, the county, and the state were pursuing several strategies to operationalize economic development plans in the Ellis County Organization for Economic Development Strategic Plan. One of those was the possibility of an industrial park off of I-70 where the current day Commerce Parkway is now located. It was felt that in order to work, the state needed to help the city and county with the building of an overpass at highway marker 161. The question, however, was how do you get the state to support the initiative? It just so happened that at this banquet, several of the people, Ken Havener, Ron Fundis, Rick Keel, myself, and others, were present and used the banquet as an opportunity for discussion and strategizing. You don't normally think of banquets as places for strategizing. After the awards, the discussion continued, and it was decided that I would make a presentation to Charles Warren, the State of Kansas Economic Development Director and author of the State Strategic Plan at that time. The deliberations around this decision had been going on for some time, but my point is the banquet brought together the essential actors and the central figures in business and economic development planning in Ellis County. The presentation was made, and by the end of 1995, the I-70 interchange at exit highway marker 161 was completed. So if you look at the banquet overall, the key takeaways are at least 2. One, if you're looking for memorable events that have made the banquet something to remember in traditional everyday terms, you're liable to be disappointed. That's not the way banquets go. The second takeaway from looking at the banquet is that the true value of the banquet is not always what people think it is. It goes beyond the simple idea of recognizing people, entertaining its members, and commemorating its annual accomplishments. What I'm saying is banquets are bigger than that. It can be clearly a tool that can align and promote the interests of its members and the larger community of which it is a part. That kind of value is immeasurable.
In the heart of haze where the hustle thrives, we gather our strength, keeping spirits alive. With every call and meeting we build and create for our members and dreams, there's no room for late. Together we rise, challenges we face, working together for a brighter tomorrow. With passion and hope we conquer the sorrow, investing in dreams, we're leading the way. In haze we stand strong on our bay. Chambers are home, where visions expand. With each busy day we support and we plan. Through trials and triumphs, our hearts stay so true. We're more than a team, we're a family too. The community shines in all that we do, working together.